Hey everybody, welcome to the Quivercast.
You go left, I go right. Man, this wave is out of sight. Going surfing, going surfing, going surfing with friends.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Quivercast. Today we have Taj Richmond. How are you, Taj?
I'm good, Mike. I'm doing good. How you doing?
Excellent, excellent. Are you in Byron Bay?
I'm in Byron Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How have the waves been lately?
It's been a very wet autumn.
Okay.
There's been a flurry of a few swells, which have been pretty next level. But in terms of our autumn, it's been pretty bad.
What do you mean, like the weather's been bad or just the waves suck?
It kind of goes hand in hand.
Okay.
Usually during the year we get in autumn we get a lot of like all day westerlies, and we got like winter winds with warm water, summer water. It's just been flooding and raining nonstop.
Well, okay. How did you grow up surfing? Like, how did you get into surfing?
Well, I was born in Byron, so just having easy waves to learn how to surf in was probably key. My dad was he got me into it. He took us down to the beach all the time to go surfing. My mum grew up around the ocean too, so it's just kind of coastal activities on the cards on weekends, and I always loved it.
Did your dad surf and your mom, or just your dad?
My mum used to bodyboard. My dad still surfs.
Okay, sweet. You surf with your dad a lot?
Yeah, before we surf a lot, but he's kind of just been slowing down on the program.
Okay.
A little bit. He's not surfing as much as I'd like him to be, but we still get away now and then.
Good.
Yeah.
Is it just because he has other things to do, or is it just like if it ain't perfect, he doesn't want to go out kind of thing?
Well, actually, a lot of it's probably to do with the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about that too.
Yeah. It's probably got to do with that. I guess when you get a bit older, you lose a little bit of the froth.
You do. 100%. I can, yeah.
Yeah, me and my brother, we try and push the froth onto him.
Who's in your family? How many people do you have in your family? Just you and your brother?
Me and my brother, and I've got a younger sister who's 10 years younger than I am.
Okay. Does she surf?
Yeah, a little bit. She can surf.
Okay, cool.
She's 16. She's got kind of other things to do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. As a young man, you just remember beach days with like mom and dad and brother ripping and surfing? Or?
Yeah, just, I grew up surfing the past and Broken Head, just long sand bottom point breaks, regular footer. So
yeah,
as soon as I could surf on my own, I was just like always so into it.
Do you remember your first board? Like, you get one of your dad hand-me-downs, or like how did you get it? What board were you riding?
Yeah, I got a soft top, a blue soft top.
Okay.
When I was like 4 years old. That was my first board. And then it was my first fiberglass was like a 5'4" Minnie Mouse thing, shaped by Hennessy. It was yellow and blue.
Okay.
Surfed that thing to death.
Were you surfing like the beach break, or were you going straight out to like the?
Yeah, straight out, just anywhere. Like I wouldn't go out past like out at the very top of the point at the pass, or I was usually down the line.
Yeah.
Down the line.
Okay.
Where the groms were meant to be.
Right. You're in your 20s, so this is over 20 years ago. Was the crowd as thick as it is today back then?
No way. It can't be. But it's always been pretty like, it's too tropo here, too tropical. It's too much like
inviting.
People are so drawn to surf here and learn how to surf here.
The waves do get kind of heavy though, too, right? Kind of drainy.
No, not in Byron.
Not in Byron.
There's been a few swells lately, which has been great. It'll be 3 to 4 foot. Since we had a swell a couple months ago with a Cyclone Alfred, and it was about 4 foot in the bay, and then Kira, it's like 8 foot of the biggest barrels you've ever seen.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, we get great waves, can't complain, but it doesn't really get chunky like up the coast, or even if you just go down the coast towards, Ballina.
Okay.
In that area.
How old's your brother? What's his name?
His name's Kaya. and he's 23.
Okay, so he's a little younger than you. Were you guys competitive with each other, or did you have like a competitive group of friends that you guys were trying to like outsurf each other?
Yeah, well, funny you should mention it, because there's been like this thing that's involved in my life at the moment, and that's kind of trying to not compete with other people, but trying to like out froth.
Okay, I like it.
Like, just I see people like who are just like out there every morning, and they're just dedicated to the froth, and they're just out there, and they're just like, I love that. And I've just been trying to like, if I see someone who's like frothing really hard, I'm just trying to like take them down and like froth even harder.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Does it matter how hard they surf, how hard they rip?
Not at all.
Not at all.
It's just about the froth.
Okay.
It's about wet waves and who's out there the earliest and who's frothing the hardest, I guess.
How does that help with the wave count? Or does it?
Well, I guess if you're frothing, you're going to probably get more waves.
I can see that. You're trying to get out the back faster. You're just ready for your next wave.
You're just going to be there. You're just going to like, even if it's shit surf, you're just going to be there, and you're just like, it doesn't matter if it's good or if it's bad. Like, you're just out there. That's froth.
I like it. Does that make the crowd invisible?
No, not at all. If I was going to choose somewhere to go surfing for an early morning or something, I wouldn't probably choose the most crowded lineup. Yeah, I'd be trying to hit like a little secret bank somewhere, and there'd be a couple of the frothers that are onto it.
All right.
It's probably like a pack of like 8 local dudes in here that I'm like, oh yeah, these boys are frothed on. Like, checking out where they're surfing and vice versa.
Okay, are you looking for their cars? Are you guys like talking to each other the night before? Like, let's meet up? Like, is this like a meetup thing?
At the moment, there's kind of just like this crew, and we just kind of always surf together. We don't really coordinate it.
Okay, I like it.
We'll just kind of know. We're trying to out froth each other. Or I'm trying to, I don't know. They probably are. Yeah, I don't know. It's hilarious.
Okay, so if you score it really good and maybe most of those guys don't make it to that same spot, does that happen? Do you guys talk shit to each other? Like, dude, you blew it today?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
Like, you messed up? And they come back to you like, so-and-so?
How many barrels did you get? You're asking them. Or I'm getting asked, like, oh, how many barrels did you get? And you'd be like, oh, yeah, Lord, I got like 3 barrels. And they'll be rattled. And you'd be real stoked on rattling them.
Okay. I like it.
Competitive, for sure. In a healthy way, I reckon.
Yeah. Like, let's say the pass or somewhere, it's really, really crowded, but the waves are really good. Are you skipping it nowadays? Or like, are you just going to go for it and kind of get what you get? Yeah.
I mean, like I wake up early every morning, like 5:30.
Okay.
I have a coffee and I head out the door, and I try and, the winds are usually offshore at that time, so the pass doesn't work in any sort of like offshore westerly. It likes the southeast. So it comes more from the from down south and from the ocean a bit more. So I try and like punch out there and try and hit like the open beaches, any beaches, any like bits of sand that I've heard about or I've seen. Try and do that.
So there is still vacant waves there in your region. There are some available empty waves.
Like, I still have like epic magic sessions with just 3 to 6 guys, all mates and all locals, and there's plenty of times trading off tubes. And there's no one around.
Yeah,
it's rad. Yeah,
and warm water.
And the warm water.
What do you think of Byron being so crowded?
I'm all right with it, because it's kind of just been how it's been. Like, sure, there's times where you can get overwhelmed by the crowd. Find it more when I'm driving, though, not when I'm like surfing. Like,
that makes sense.
If I'm surfing something that's crowded like the pass, I'll probably just go out there on like a soft top. Yeah, it's like dealing with the crowd. If it's outrageously crowded, I'll just take a different mindset to it. I'm not out there to like go and shred and rip it up. More just like go and have fun and have a laugh. Do some spins on the soft top.
What about the other locals that have grown up there their whole life? Are they accepting like you are?
I'd say they are. Yeah. You know, this place here in Byron on the east coast of Australia is Australia's most popular tourist destination. And it's been that way for pretty much my whole life. So I think like a lot of the locals have become accustomed to accepting that, and they're not the ones to like be blowing up in the surf and like being nasty to everyone because kind of just used to it. And it's not that we're just like pushovers. It's just that we like not really gonna get in an argument over crowded small surf.
That's fair.
Mm.
Your attitude's good towards it because you can go either way, really.
Yeah, well, it's got to be. If you get, you start feeling nasty about it, like, it's not going to serve you. You'll probably end up not surfing is what you'll do.
Yes, I would agree. So there is no hardcore local out there that's beating their chest saying, I'm a local guy. Who are you guys? Or is there a few out there like that?
Yeah, there's always a few colonels wherever you go.
Love that. That's great. Do you ever have a conversation with some of these people? I'm assuming they all can surf, but I'm sure they don't surf well.
Is this
like the tourists
the
or the new people? Yeah, not the colonels. The colonels probably could probably rip.
Kind of just like surf. I don't know. Kind of like I feel like this conversation's kind of related towards the pass because that's probably the most crowded tourist surfy wave.
100%. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the pass.
Yeah.
Pretty much just surf only out there on a soft top.
There you go.
Chat with everyone and anyone, but I'm just out there. Like I will go just like sit on the top and, if I'm out there and there's not a single person I know, I'm not like dropping in on anyone or anything, but like I'll just surf around it's like a sea of humans. You're actually like dodging around, 100 people on a single wave. It's more funny than anything.
Good attitude.
I don't go out there with the idea of just like dominating lineup. It's more you got to just take the piss out of it. It's just like you definitely can't go out there with a bad attitude, or you'll just have a bad time.
Let's go back to your childhood with you and your brother and your dad. Was surfing mainly consuming your life, or was there other things in your life?
Oh, pretty consuming for me. Out of anyone in my family, I've just been super addicted to it. I've always been really addicted to surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah, surfing, skating. I played soccer as well.
What degree was skating in your life compared to surfing? Were they equal?
No, it's never been equal. Surfing's always been above love.
If the waves weren't good, you'd go skate kind of thing?
Yeah.
How did that affect your style?
Oh, I think skating's good for you. Got to be good for your surfing.
Yeah. So let's talk about your style. I think you have excellent style. I guess maybe it's the equipment you ride or something, but your style is, I don't know, more laid back, kind of how your attitude is actually. I would line them up the same. That's just my take on it. How do you feel about your style? Like,
someone asked me this and I had to think about it. And my style, I would say, is very unstructured.
I like it.
Yeah, it's unstructured. Like I'm pretty long-bodied human. It's definitely not a rigid style. And everything goes everywhere. Yeah.
So was that intentional? Did you have a favorite surfer that you had in mind that you were trying to mimic?
Well, John Florence.
Okay.
Like, he's just the man. And when I was like 16 or 17, I got rough just like shortboarding. He has kind of like a similar build to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the similar height and not that lanky. He's pretty built. Yeah, like I always thought that his style was sick. Like just those big, like overextended cutties. Yeah, so for a few years when I was like 16, 17, I was like, yeah, like I want to surf like John. And then kind of just like faded away from shortboarding in a way a bit. It just felt like it wasn't really suiting completely to, I guess, the way I like to surf. It wasn't as fun.
So you went from a thruster to what?
Well, I kind of used to like ride everything. Then I went full like HP thruster, and then probably like the last 4 years, I've like just kind of transitioned more to twin fins and twinsers and quads. Yeah.
And it looks good for your style. Do you feel like your style depicted what board you were riding, or do you feel like the board gives you your style?
Yeah, it's a bit of both, really. Like, honestly, when I started riding the McTavish boards,
Yeah.
Ben McTavish, once he's shaping for me,
Yeah.
I honestly, like, I know, and people have told me as well, that like those boards have done well for my surfing, and I like those boards have made me surf better for sure.
Yeah. Were you ever into, like, I've seen the videos, some of your videos on Instagram. You did longboard. You do ride a soft top. You do ride a finless sometimes. What's your favorite board right now? What's your go-to board from McTavish?
Oh, it's always changing boards.
I like that.
There's this 6'3" Twinser that was probably one of the best boards I've ever ridden in my life. Just one of the personal hand shapes that he just had out the back one day. I saw it there. I didn't give it back to him. He just said, take it. I did. Like, I had been riding that for so long in, like, you know, solid slabs to small novelty beachies. So yeah, that was a Twinser. That thing was really sick, rounded 6'3" rounded pin Twinser. But yeah, I've been riding a lot of twinnies, all kinds of twin fins. I'm actually riding a thruster at the moment. Pretty classic. For the last 2 weeks, I got this epic handshake from Ben, like an 80s, 90s crossover board, and
nice.
Yeah, I've just been having a dig on that.
Does it freshen up your surfing to ride different boards? Not get stuck on one design?
For sure, I reckon. Like, I think surfing all different boards kind of maybe like levels out your style in a way. Like, you know, you surf like a finless, a thruster, a twin fin, a quad. There's got to be like a medium throughout, and that medium is probably the way you surf.
Okay, so McTavish, does he go watch you or surf with you and tell you, hey, let's try this or that, or how do you come up with the boards?
Well, a few are already made models.
Yeah,
which
existing.
They're existed models, and he tweaks them for me. But yeah, we're always experimenting with different designs and different fin placements, different just everything. I like to get pretty radical with it and see what you can do, feeling you can get out of different shapes and whatever.
Yeah. So you're having fun with it. I mean, it's enjoyable. It's a good experience.
Definitely.
Do you ever get on a board that's like, it's not quite working for me, and maybe change the fins out or something? Does that ever make a huge difference?
Yeah, for sure. I think fins make such a difference. Like, I think they mean everything sometimes. Different fins, where you put them, I don't know.
I think where you put them for sure. And I think you're right. What fin system do you use?
I've got, it's always different. Yeah, it's kind of a hard question. It's always different setups.
Okay.
Yeah, I always just mix it. Got a bunch of random fins. Sometimes I'll get pretty weird with it.
Okay. Like different size fins and everything? Maybe on one side or the other, like making like an ASIM kind of thing weird?
Yeah, I've done that as well. I feel like having point breaks here, it's real fun to be able to like do that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're just on your forehand, you're just going right.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's pretty fun, experimental.
Right. Do you use the Future or FCS fins or in the box?
I use the Future boxes.
Oh, you use Future. Okay. How often will you change a fin in a session?
In one session?
Yeah. Do you ever go on the beach and just flip the fins?
I don't think I've ever done that.
Oh, okay.
I got a random collection. I'll go, all right, I know that this set of twin fins goes good in this kind of twin fin.
Nice.
Just like that.
How important is surfing as you're getting older? Is it just as important as when you were 16, or do you feel like it's taking more of a back seat or even more a front seat for you?
It's taken more of a front seat. And
really? Interesting.
My girlfriend would agree with that too. She's just like, you are so start. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be the biggest iron.
And she surfs?
Yeah. She's definitely a surfer.
Do you guys surf a lot together, or does she kind of surf elsewhere?
It's been a bit hard lately because the waves haven't been that good, like where we usually surf together, like Broken Point or, you know, the Pass. It's been a bit average. So the hours that we've been spending surfing together has been less this year, as well as, like, you know, been rainy, so she's not been that frothing.
I get
cold. We're about surfing today together. We're going to load up the car after this and head down to the Pass. Yeah, go for a log.
So how many boards will you bring with you on this session?
She's got a log. There's a 10-8 glider and 2 softies. Yeah.
Okay. How many boards are you putting in for yourself?
I'm going to ride the glider, I reckon.
Oh, okay.
It's got a real nice glider.
Okay, how big's the glider?
10-8.
The glider, you just kind of set your line and just go, right? You can't really turn turns on it.
Yeah, no, you can. Bob McTavish made Josie a hand-shaped glider. It's amazing. It's kind of like refined. Yeah, you can actually do like big keys on them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, you can do these big drawn-out cutties, and it kind of feels like you're just surfing this huge shortboard, huge thruster, because it's got so much center drive.
I've ridden a glider before, and it just, and it's not my forte, but you kind of feel like you're going really fast. Like it feels faster than a shortboard in a lot of ways, to me.
Yeah, you can pick up a lot of momentum.
You can. Is it ever get like kind of hairy? Like maybe you're out in a glider and it starts like the swell starts filling in or it's kind of gets pumping. Are you're good with it?
Yeah, I think like surfing a glider regardless, you have to be like, you know, you got to be confident and not go out there if there's a chance that you're going to lose it and kill some kids.
Right. Okay.
On the inside.
Let's talk about that. So you're riding this big glider. You're going leashless, right? No leash?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a big controversial thing about leashes in Byron and no leashes. There's actually a law in Byron.
Yes, I know that. Yeah. So talk about that.
Yeah, that's a good controversial topic to touch on.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Well, I mean, I can't say that I go out there every time and I wear a leash. I'd be lying.
I love it.
Like, I don't know. It's controversial to say, but, you know, like someone be out there and be like, you better put a leash on, dude, or whatever. And you're like, well, you can take me to court if I hit you. So we'll see about that.
Okay.
You don't want to be an idiot also. You don't want to like put anyone else's life in danger. You don't sending any sets and then just letting your board go, you know, astray. I think surfing without a leash actually teaches you to not lose your board. Mm-hmm. And even if you've got a leash on your board, there's still the high possibility that you can do damage to anyone.
It's a false security in a lot of ways, I think, having a leash. A lot of people let their board go and like instead of duck dive. I'm on the agreement with you. And I think it does make you surf better without a leash because you're trying not to lose your board. You don't want to swim in. So you're holding on to the board.
You don't want. Yeah.
Is the law watching you guys paddle out without leashes or making sure you have a leash? Is there like a cop or is it?
They did try and like do some like patrolling, some police, but it's just like there's no resources to have police going up and down looking for people to fine without. But they did do it. I have heard of it happening a couple of times. It's actually ridiculous to have policemen patrolling if people have leaks. That's what I think.
100% agree with you. I feel like you know your ability. You know that 99% chance. I mean, there's always that 1% chance you're going to lose your board, and it can happen. But most people that are going to go leashless are going to be competent surfers, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, you would assume that, and then you kind of see crew out there that like do the no leash thing, but they don't know how to surf properly.
That's possible
because it's like, you know, it's not cool to wear a leash on your longboard. So you do like see. I've seen that plenty of times, like people out there at the pass that are riding their stringer like boutique surfboard, but they can't really surf that well, and they're losing their board. Yeah, they're just cooking it, really.
That is the surf world today. Even if it's Byron Bay or Huntington Beach. It's the same thing.
Yeah, there's definitely crew out there that have probably too much confidence and not enough like years under their belt.
Well, you had an advantage starting off early. Do you feel like a lot of these surfers started too late in life?
Yeah, it's never too late for anything. I think what's important about surfing though is like dedicating yourself to like being open to learning about these like unspoken rules
Yes.
to surfing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like respecting the lineup. That's, not going around and putting anyone in danger, snaking.
No burning people. Yeah.
Respect locals and stuff like that, which usually takes a long time to learn all that stuff. And some people don't even care for it.
Yes, I see that all the time. But in retrospect, we were taught as kids, like, I was taught as a child, as a grom, I guess. Like my dad wasn't in the lineup with me, so I learned it the hard way by getting yelled at or chased around or whatever. As an adult surfer, you're not going to have these things happen to you, so you don't necessarily learn them. Unfortunately, that's a conversation that comes back up a lot. But let's talk about locals. Is there a certain amount of time you need to live? Let's say anywhere, even Byron or Kira or wherever, that you can call yourself a local? Is there, if you live there for a year, are you a local?
I think that, no, I think like a lot of people say you got to be here for like 10 years. I mean, like none of us are locals here, really. Like this is all Aboriginal land. So any like
good point.
White fella that's here, like no one can really be like, I'm a local here. But when what you're talking about, I think being local has a lot to do with how you behave within the community. Like,
yes.
Being a part of a community, respecting the community and embracing what that community has to offer and the way that maybe like that community operates, then that actually has a huge part to play in being a local. Because someone could live here 20 years or whatever, but they not embrace which way this community lives. So it's not really being a local.
So like gentrifying it and changing it?
Yeah, like for an example here, we have a lot of like people that have moved from like the cities and they've moved here, and it's like, they live here and they say that they're from here, but they don't embrace the small town taste.
Yeah, I get that. Some of the heavy hitters that were out there as a kid and growing up now, like there's a lot of good surfers that come from Byron Bay, right? And have lived there. So there's quite a bit of history. Who are some of the guys that you really looked up to locally?
There was always like the iconic crew like Danny Wills.
Yeah. Guy rips.
Yeah, he's like, he's so iconic here in Byron, and he just ripped, and like he really surfs so good. Then like Torrin Martin being like a bit older than I am. I think he's like in his early 30s. He's someone I look up to still. Two characters on kind of different opposite ends of the spectrum.
Opposite. Do you feel like you're more like the Torrin Martin, the more free surfer, headspace kind of thing?
Out of those two characters, yeah, I kind of like would aspire to, get on the same kind of program as Torrin.
Yeah.
Not on tour.
No.
Not,
Yeah.
But we were easily not good enough to be on tour or anything like that.
But travel around, get good clips, surf good waves.
That's what you want.
In my day, we had the magazines, and I know there's probably still a magazine or two. I think is Track still going on in Australia?
Yeah, I think Track's gone.
Okay, so you have these magazines. You could be a free surfer and get ads in the mag.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get paid or to be a free surfer today without having to do comps?
I think there is. Yeah. There are still ways to get around it. I don't think it was as easy as like, I think nowadays it's a bit harder with like social media and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's taken away from like the greatness of like making a surf movie, doing a premiere and then, to do it on DVDs. But now it's like a lot of Instagram and it's like a lot of you know, it's a bit sad. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer.
So you had a movie come out not too long ago, like a short film, like I think it was like I don't know, a year or two ago, right? A couple years ago.
Yep, that was the shotgun one.
Yeah. Did you hold back on your clips? Like, is it hard to hold back on good clips, or I mean, are you even looking for clips, or are you just a surfer? You don't give a shit if you get a picture or a video of you.
I mean, yeah, if you get clips, you're stoked.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, if it's like great waves and you're getting big barrel and someone captured that, yeah, I mean, I'm happy regardless. I'm not really like, probably should be more driven to like get content, stuff like that, but I don't really care.
I love that.
I'd just be happy getting barrels, like, regardless.
Do you feel like a lot of the kids coming up now, or even guys your age, or gals even, are too focused? Does it take away the fun, do you believe, trying to focus on getting clips?
I think getting clips, I don't know. Like, I love surf films, and I love making surf films. So, you know, to get clips and then have it put into a movie and then have something, you know, behind it, I think that's really cool still.
I agree with you.
Pairing it with music that you actually enjoy.
Yep.
I think that's a big part as well. Yeah.
It tells people your personality, especially if you pick the music or you have that you can pick the vibe if you have a movie.
Yeah.
Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
I think having a movie and, you know, having someone who knows what they're doing when it comes to the editing and that kind of thing, like that movie that you know, Josie and I had together, the shotgun one, you know, that's like a movie that I'll, you know, should be showing my grandkids one day.
Yes.
Going like, look at your you know, your mom and your dad back they surfing together, like
that's right.
Sick. I love the internet for that.
Do you think that the movie with the premieres, it's a party atmosphere, it's a community atmosphere. So with more of that, it's going to bring more community to the surfers.
Oh yeah, like for a different film we made it probably about 3 years ago. We had a premiere at the Byron Community Center, and we sold out the seats to this theater, like 250 people.
Nice.
And about 150 of those people were just like full on groms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was sick. Like that's been the highlight of my surfing life.
That's going to stay in our surf community, I think, no matter what part of the world you're at. Surf premieres. Just more people got to participate, I think.
Yeah, it's too much fun. It's too much. It's such a good vibe getting everyone down together, all together, and then just having a froth down on some surfing.
Yeah. That night, let's say in particular, were there groms that walked up to you, or even some of the kids, or even older guys like me, walked up to you like, dude, I've watched you surf for years, and this movie's great, kind of thing, like stoked for you?
Yeah. You get good feedback. Like, that was a sick film. Like, oh, yes, I'm glad you think so.
That's rad.
Makes you want to write to it.
Yeah. I hope people keep this up. Did you help in the editing or anything? Did you have a choice to how it was edited?
Yeah, me and my mate Greg's. I think I did like 12 hours on the computer with him, going just totally mad by the end of it.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I did enjoy that.
It changes the format because, I mean, when you just have clips, you can put it wherever you want to put it. So it's kind of cool. Good job, by the way.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job.
Yeah. Well, on the most recent film, the one we did like 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
I got to pull on. I've been a bit slow lately, but I've got a few things in the works. But that shotgun film, I had nothing to do with the editing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about social media in general? Do you like it?
Well, I've got actually a pretty funny relationship with social media as of like the last 2 years. So you can't see it on my phone right now, but I mean, I could probably show you actually.
Okay.
So my phone got wet when I went fishing in the Maldives like 2 years ago. And I'm using, look. So can you see that?
Yeah.
So it's been like that for about 2 years. And I've just like kind of built this relationship with my phone because I can't like watch any videos, and so it's kind of eliminated like scrolling and that kind of thing. I do like miss out on seeing like a lot of surf stuff. For me, it's been good. I've enjoyed it. But I post something on Instagram and, you know, I don't even know what I'm posting. It's just...
Yeah, you have like over 8,000 followers, but I mean, and you're active on social media, but you're not super active. Not like some of these Challenger or CT guys that are like posting every day, pretty much.
Yeah, no, I don't have time for that actually, because it's like if I do post a video, I'm like trying to see what I'm doing, and it takes a while, and I get frustrated with it about it.
So it's been a benefit with your phone being messed up.
Been a benefit. Like I've been offered, like, you know, Josie was like, oh, like you got to get that fixed. Like I've got an old phone you can use, and I'm like, no, I kind of just happy with it.
Yeah, phone calls. That's funny.
Yeah, like I can still do everything. It's just yeah.
How often do you get out of town? Like, do you camp? Do you go surfing? Like, do you go find secluded waves?
Yeah, I got to get out like once a month, I reckon. Once I've done like 3 weekends here, I'm just like, get me out. I need to go.
Nice. Does it matter with the swell? Do you check and swell, or are you just going? It is what it is.
Yeah, if there's any like little birdies saying there's a wave down the coast. Sometimes I don't like even surf around here. Like last year, I just, you know, I'd wake up every morning and I'd head straight to Lennox, because it was like, I'm not sure if you saw some of the waves that were coming through there, but it was just on for like a year straight. But yeah, there's plenty of waves all along the East Coast.
Is Lennox as crowded as by your house?
Nah, not nearly as crowded. They had a crazy year there last year where the sand was amazing. But yeah, that's been all over. So I'm going down there much. And
back to your phone, are you good with technology, or do you think it's good or bad?
No, just guess you just got to accept that you can't stop it. I guess you have to stay somewhat up to date, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Like you can't just like, probably will get a whole lot less done without it. So there's a certain element that you have to be like, all right, I've got to deal with it in some way. Like it's been part of life.
What about technology and sharing the quality of waves? Like bringing crowds to the beach? Yeah, I think waves that like, you know, like posting waves during a swell isn't good. Geotagging's not good. You know, you don't want to like go to someone else's town as well and then be like sharing videos of their... Everyone knows you shouldn't do that. Yeah, but people do it all the time. People do it all the time. I wouldn't know. It's true. Your phone's broken. Yeah, they do it. Talking about magazines and Instagram and all these other things, what do you feel about surf media? Do you follow
surf
Stab?
Media?
Yeah. Do you follow Stab? Do you follow Nobody Surf? Is there any like sites you follow? Yeah. Nobody Surf. Those guys from Japan. They're cool. I met them before. And then I guess Stab is just they're kind of like the surf overlords. They're kind of dominating the surf media, aren't they? They're kind of like... They're kind of the one-man show, kind of, really. Yeah. There's no competition for them. No, it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Like, I feel like back in the day when you had multiple magazines and media, they could have different opinions of surfing, let's say. Like, you know, there's a longboard magazine, there's a shortboard magazine. They have two different... They're both surfing, but they're different cultures, kind of, almost. Where you kind of fit in the middle of it all. But I guess I like Stab. I'd like Stab's approach on it, because it's kind of like at least fun. It's not like competition driven. Yeah, they do a good job. What about pro surfing in general? So it looked like you did surf a couple pro juniors, or at least a pro junior. I did. I got a funny story about pro juniors. So I did a couple like when I was like 17 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was always, because I'm like I didn't do many comps, so I was always low seated. Yep.
every heat, I just get matched up with every heat. I just have Ethan Ewing and like roast me. I'll be like, yo, Ethan's in my heat.
Were you guys friendly, or is it more of acquaintance, or what was your relationship?
He probably he would have no clue who I am. I'm like totally out of percent.
Obviously, you don't like competitions, but do you watch pro surfing?
Not so much anymore. You know, if it's on at a mate's place and it's like pipeline, that's entertaining for me. Yeah, otherwise I don't find it that entertaining.
What about like the wave pools and stuff? Have you surfed a wave pool?
I've surfed a wave pool.
What's your thoughts?
I surfed the one in Sydney and the one in Sydney, Melbourne. They're all right.
Was it fun?
They're all right. It's 100% fun. It's just like, you know, you hear a noise and it goes, psh, and then a wave comes and you're in a line with your buddies, and you know, it's cool. It's definitely fun, but it's just not the same.
Did you ride different equipment then? Were you riding one of your twin fins or your twinsers? Yeah,
I was actually, funny enough, I was down there like about 3 weeks ago for a mate's 30th, and we took soft tops, like 410 little boards, shorties, 20s, and we all just like swapped around, and yeah, it's fun. Speaking of surf movies, as a Grom, did you have a favorite surf movie? Did you have one that you rotated, watched over and over and over? Yeah, I had Chipper Wilson's Chromatic. Oh yeah, I remember that movie. Always my favorite. Chipper's always been like massive idol. Even though he's a goofy foot? Yeah. I just like, yeah, his surf movies were so sick. Yeah, when he was writing for Analog. Yes. Yeah, so the movie's Chromatic. And he was doing things that no one else was doing at the time, even today. Shovets and sick little tweaked ollies, chop pops. So he's not from your area, is he? No, I think he's from the Sunshine Coast, I believe. Yeah. Not 100% sure. Yeah. Have you ever surfed with him? Yeah, I have surfed with him. Okay. Yeah. I've met him too. He's a real nice guy. Super nice guy. What is the wildlife like in the water? Well, here it's full on. I love wildlife. Into animals. You like fishing? Yeah, I love fishing. I've just been seeing so much action in the water. Like yesterday, we were just surfing, and there's just like bonito and Spanish mackerel just busting up like right there. Wow. And we got like, yeah, what's it like over there? I don't fish, so it's not like I think on the East Coast of America, everyone surfs that fishes, and that's like their life. Like fish for a living and surf. Not so much here. I mean, there's some guys that fish, but it's not like a lifestyle. Yeah, it's cool. Like seeing there's so much action here. We got like dolphins. Yeah, we got heaps of. We got like so many sharks. Have you had a close encounter with any sharks? Yeah, I actually did. About 2 months ago, I got pretty much busted up on by a shark. It just like exploded the water next to my left leg. No. Yeah, it just rattled me. It just exploded on my left side of my body, and then I went to lay down to kind of turn around, and then its fin was just going, and its back kicker just doing big swirls away from me. And that was pretty. Wow. Yeah, like about 2 months ago, before the rain came and the water got all dirty, we were seeing 3 sharks a session, or like, you know, they won every time. We're good. Has anyone gotten bitten there? Yeah. A couple mates have been bitten. No. Actually. What kind of sharks? Yeah. Great whites and bull sharks. Really? So has any of them died from it? No, thankfully. None of them. Thankfully, yeah. What about losing limbs or anything? I have a friend, someone I know down in Port Macquarie. Would have heard about Kai McKenna. Okay. Yeah. Great surfer and skater. But yeah, he lost his leg completely. Oh fuck! Crazy. Yeah. He's now just ripping on a prosthetic. That's cool. Got heaps of respect. Yeah. Heaps of respect for that guy. Does it matter what the water quality is so you can see underneath you, or are you going to paddle out anyhow if the waves are good? Yeah, the waves are good. Been like on water for almost 2 years, so yeah, we've been surfing.
charging going out there. Awesome. How far back from the beach are you?
We're about a 5-minute drive from the beach.
Okay, cool. Is that where you would like to live, or like what's your life plans? What do you see yourself in 10 years?
I hope that I'm just running the same program.
What is your program?
Well, we spend about 8 months here in Byron. I just work and surf, and then we go spend 4 months over in the Philippines.
Nice. So is that like a wave called Cloud 9? Is that the wave in the Philippines that's good, the Cloud 9? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Cloud 9's a very famous wave in the Philippines.
You like that wave?
Oh, yeah, it's a sick wave.
Is it heavy or is it just fun?
Yeah, it's heavy. Yeah, it's like a proper slab.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, it's a slab.
So since we're talking about slabs and heavy waves, do you remember the first like proper slab you surfed?
Yeah, I guess like one of the first slabs I surfed. Yeah, well, when I went over to South Oz and that, like they're proper slabs over there.
Yeah.
That was my first experience, like a 6-foot slab and just getting absolutely obliterated. Oh, it's got almost died.
There's no one around probably, right? There's no lifeguards or nothing there to look out for you, right?
Yeah, no.
You're on your own.
No.
You got to handle it.
Yeah.
Do you prefer it like that? Do you feel like you need to have lifeguards around, like, or do you think surfing you should be able to handle yourself and figure the consequences out?
You put yourself in those positions because you're frothing.
Yeah. Going back to the beginning, the froth factor.
All about froth.
Have you ever gotten yourself in a position besides there where it's like you go, oh shit, I've done it this time?
Yeah. I mean, one of the worst surfing trips I ever had was just doing a floater, like at just one of the local beach breaks, and I just like snapped my foot in 5 places doing
Ooh.
it. Floater on a 2-foot wave. So yeah, it's too many variables.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. Yeah, you just never know what I hear about most people getting hurt on smaller waves or 3-foot beach break. Guys that charge and never get hurt.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's right on.
Might be the mindset.
Yeah, it could be. Well, Taj, thank you so much for coming on the Quivercast, man. I truly appreciate it.
Awesome, Mike. Yeah, no worries.
All right, everybody. So this is Mike and Taj Richmond from Australia, and we are out of here.
You go left, I go right. Man, this wave is out of sight. Going surfing, going surfing, going surfing with friends. Ride this wave to the shore. Paddle out, I'm gonna catch 10 more. Going surfing, going surfing, going surfing with friends. I don't care if it's wrong or right. I'm gonna do it all day, I'm gonna do it all night. I'm going surfing, going surfing, going surfing with friends. On my way, it's a beautiful day. I'm going surfing, I'm going surfing, going surfing with friends.